Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, This Morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Derek Sibley.
It is Friday, November 3rd, 2023. Friday, as you like to call it.
Absolutely, yes. Let's get ready for that weekend.
Yes, and we may be trading the winter coat for the raincoat, right?
Yeah, you know, we may run to a slight chance of a shower here and there, and I think we'll see some warmer temperatures, though.
Which is good news,
got
yeah.
that in our favor, exactly, and right where we should be for this time of the year, which is in the 50s. Now, this morning, it's a little bit cooler out there, or a little bit warmer, I should say, here already to start us off this morning. We got cloudy skies right now. A couple of light showers are possible, but as you can see, the temperatures, a lot of us into the 40s out there, so a little bit warmer here the last couple of days. Now, some spots are still a little cool, like Eau Claire at 36, Black River Falls at 32, Sparta's at 33, Viroqua's at 39, Preston towards the west there at 41, Decorah 43 degrees. So as we take a look at your planner, our skies continue to remain cloudy with temperatures in the low 40s. Slight chance of a shower possible. Same could be said here this afternoon with a slight chance of a shower. Otherwise, expect mainly cloudy skies with highs in the upper 40s and low 50s. So again, you could run to some showers here for you and your furry friend this morning. Some scattered showers are possible again this afternoon. Otherwise, again, mainly cloudy weather conditions throughout today. But some nice conditions in general, though, for us to enjoy if you have any outdoor activities. Don't think it will be a washout by any means. I'll have a check on your schoolcast, plus another look at your full weather forecast in a few minutes. Alexandra?
We will see you then, Derek. Thank you. Let's get to some morning headlines now. The top U.S. diplomat, Secretary of State Antony Blinken, is back in the Middle East today to meet with leaders in Israel. His top priorities include humanitarian aid and protecting civilians as the fighting intensifies in Gaza. Hamas says the death toll there has now topped 9,000, including more than 3,000 children. Meanwhile, President Biden says more than 70 Americans got out of Gaza yesterday. CBS News' Ian Lee has the latest for us this morning from Tel Aviv.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken landed in Tel Aviv on his second trip to the Middle East since the conflict began nearly a month ago. He says he's focused on protecting innocent civilians caught in the crossfire, getting humanitarian aid into Gaza, and reaching a sustainable peace between Israel and the Palestinians.
We're determined that this conflict not spread.
The visit comes 3 days after the gates opened at the Rafah crossing, allowing hundreds of foreign passport holders, including dozens of Americans, passage from war-torn Gaza into Egypt.
I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to see the family that I left behind or the friends that I left behind.
The Biden administration says it supports temporary pauses in fighting in order to get Americans and hostages out of Gaza and humanitarian aid in, though it's not in favor of a general ceasefire. Israel's military says the encirclement of Gaza City is complete as the fighting expands deeper into the territory. Hamas says an Israeli airstrike on the Baraj refugee camp Thursday is believed to have killed at least a dozen Palestinians.
And Secretary of State Antony Blinken will also visit Jordan today. Yesterday, the House of Representatives passed a $14 billion Israel aid bill, despite a veto threat from the White House. However, that bill is not likely to get past the Democrat-controlled Senate, where many lawmakers from both parties oppose separating Israel aid from Ukraine assistance. And back here at home, you may have to leave a little earlier this morning if you use Losey Boulevard to get to work. That's because the southbound right-hand lane will be closed until Tuesday, November 7th. The city says the road will be closed for water utility maintenance work happening in the area. The Food and Drug Administration is proposing a new ban on an additive used in some sodas. The FDA says brominated vegetable oil is now considered an unsafe for human consumption after recent animal studies showed the additive had toxic effects on the thyroid gland. BVO is commonly found in a variety of citrus-based drinks. The additive has already been banned across Europe, Japan, and California. For most Americans, this Sunday means the clock falls back. That means it'll get darker earlier and we'll get an extra hour of sleep, some may say. As CBS's Christian Benavides reports, losing daylight, though, can negatively impact our mental health.
When it ends,
Greg Robinson has mixed feelings about turning the clocks back, marking the end of daylight saving time. He likes that extra hour of sleep.
When I lose an hour of sunlight at the end of the day after work, I don't like that.
Neither does Alberto Parajon.
In the wintertime, it gets dark around 5 or 6. I much rather it got dark at 7.
Dr. Petros Lavonis with the American Psychiatric Association says it's not just inconvenient. The time change could affect your mental health. In a new survey, 1 in 5 Americans said they're negatively impacted by it.
This is a very, very high number of people who actually say that the change in time will give them some depression, some discomfort, some uneasiness.
According to the survey, 2/3 of adults say they notice at least one behavioral change, from sleeping more to feeling fatigued or depressed. The poll also found women are nearly twice as likely as men to say their mental health has been negatively affected by the fall time change. Dr. Lavonis warns some people may develop seasonal affective disorder.
There are also people who are going to have a more severe form of this winter blues, feeling lonely, feeling depressed, stop having interest in the things that gave you pleasure.
He recommends spending more time outdoors, even as the daylight hours decrease. Frequent outdoor exercise and taking breaks to experience the daylight are some of the ways you can ward off those winter blues.
The survey also found 28% of people who live in rural areas say the time change affected their mental health. Happening this weekend, music lovers, we have the perfect way for you to spend your weekend. The Midwest Music Fest is back in La Crosse starting today, and some UWL art students created a special art piece to celebrate. Billy the Bigfoot has become a symbol of the Music Fest. He's only ever been seen on paper, but now student sculptors have brought him to life right outside the Pump House Regional Arts Center. You see him right there. All are welcome to visit Billy, but you will want to go soon before the elusive Bigfoot disappears.
Billy is making an appearance as Bigfoot do, so it's a sort of a limited time that you can see Billy.
Midwest Music Fest brings musicians from across the region into the downtown La Crosse area. The fest starts today at 3 p.m. and will run until 11 tonight. The music will start back up tomorrow at 10 a.m. and will play through the day until 11 p.m. The music venues include the UWL Weber Center for the Performing Arts, the Root Note, the Main, the Pump House Regional Arts Center, the Charmant, and the Grounded Patio Cafe. You can buy tickets online. We have that link and more information for you on our digital platforms. Still ahead on your morning news, after 7 weeks of increases, mortgage rates have dropped slightly. We'll look at the trend and how it compares to previous years. And the National Retail Federation has released its 2023 holiday spending forecast. We'll have a few tips and tricks that can help you save on your holiday shopping this year. That and more coming up this morning. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning or the yum in your morning. Today, we honor one of the most efficient meals around. That's because today is National Sandwich Day. From Italian sub to Vietnamese banh mi to shrimp po' boy, there are seemingly endless varieties. The versatile lunch staple has a unique history. Many people think it was invented by John Montague, the 4th Earl of Sandwich. According to legend, Montague had two passions, gambling and meat. In order to do both at the same time without getting his hands greasy, he'd ask his servants to bring him meat between slices of bread. Other historians argue that Montague actually came up with the meal to save time because he was so busy with his political and military life. To celebrate National Sandwich Day, a number of national chains are offering deals, including Jimmy John's, Subway, Domino's, and Quiznos. Don't go anywhere. Your consumer news at News 8 Now this morning is after the break.
Cloudy weather conditions continue to spill across the Coulee region, as you can see right there behind me. A couple of light showers are possible, but I think for the most part, things are going to be pretty dry, but also very cloudy, though. Our temperatures are into the 30s and 40s. We got 36 degrees in Eau Claire, 32 in Black River Falls and Sparta. You're currently at 37. Broke was at 39, La Crosse at 42. and Winona currently reporting 41 degrees. A check now on your zone forecast today showing that our high temperatures will rise into the 50s. So slightly warmer this afternoon with 50 in West Salem and 52 degrees today in Berry Mills. Moving south into Stoddard, you'll be at 50 degrees. Westby a little bit cooler at 47, Lafarge at 51. And as we head into Arcadia, you'll be at 49. Black River Falls, Melrose, and Sparta all at 50 degrees here today. Moving north into the Chippewa Valley, your high temperature in Eau Claire at 47 degrees. So cloudy skies for the bus stop, but not as cold though. Temperatures at around 42. A couple of light showers are possible. Could see some scattered showers this afternoon with temperatures at around 50 degrees. So a bit warmer. We'll talk more about this coming up in the full weather forecast in a few minutes.
Thank you, Derek. In your consumer news this morning, after 7 straight weeks of climbing, mortgage rates have dropped. According to Freddie Mac, 30-rate fixed mortgage rates averaged 7.76% this week. That's down from 7.79% last week. A year ago, it was under 7%, while 2 years ago, it was 3.1%. The new data comes a day after the Fed announced it would keep interest rates steady for the time being. It has not ruled out another interest rate hike before the end of the year. The U.S. government is looking to invest in school safety. On Thursday, the Justice Department announced more than $334 million in grants for safety improvements for communities across the nation. The grants will include money for school districts and local governments to help improve school safety. They'll also provide enough money to hire more than 1,700 new police officers. Finally, the grants will also supply funding for crisis intervention teams. Former cryptocurrency CEO Sam Bankman-Fried has been found guilty of 7 counts of fraud and conspiracy. That verdict was handed down by a Manhattan jury who deliberated for more than 4 hours before agreeing that Bankman-Fried stole billions from customers. Bankman-Fried has maintained his innocence, claiming the losses were business errors, not fraud. Sentencing is set for March 28th of 2024. Bankman-Fried faces more than 110 years in prison for that conviction. The National Retail Federation has released its holiday spending forecast for 2023. Despite high inflation, the NRF predicts holiday shoppers will spend more than last year. Mike Valerio takes a look at when the best time to do your shopping is and what items are expected to be the most sought after this holiday season.
'Tis the season of spending, and despite concerns over the economy, the National Retail Federation says consumers are ready to spend big.
NRF is forecasting that total holiday sales during the months of November and December could reach as high as $967 billion.
The holiday shopping season keeps creeping earlier and earlier. This year, it's for a very practical reason.
They want more time to find deals, and they want more time to really spread out that shopping.
With inflation holding steady, NRF Vice President Catherine Collins says holiday shoppers are more price conscious.
Shoppers are saying they will pull back in other areas in order to afford and prioritize their holiday shopping season. They will search for sales and deals and really look for ways to make every dollar count.
And where are they putting those dollars?
Gift cards were the top item that people said they were shopping for this year rather than specific products.
Another big trend this season, beauty and self-care products, thanks in part to influencer culture.
Shoppers are finding influencers and social media to be increasingly important when it comes to hearing about deals, but also discovering new products and things that they didn't know they needed.
As far as deals goes, Kristen McGrath with Retail Me Not says Black Friday shopping is still the best bang for your buck.
We tend to find the most deals and the best deals all concentrated around that one big weekend.
According to the NRF, retailers are expected to hire up to 450,000 seasonal workers this year. That's about 60,000 more than they hired last year. That does it for your morning consumer news. Time now to check in with Derek for a look at today's forecast.
All right, thanks for that, Alexandra. Still is very cloudy out there currently across much of the Coulee region. Here in La Crosse, not only cloudy, temperatures at 42, so a little bit warmer out there thanks to all the cloud cover. Southeast winds at around 8 miles an hour. In Eau Claire, our wind speeds are looking calm, so no wind chill factors to worry about, even though our temperatures to the north are much cooler, currently sitting at 36 degrees. So you can see all the cloudy weather that continues to spill in its way from the west across the area. A couple of light showers are possible underneath some of those thicker clouds, but I think for the most part, things are looking pretty dry. This trough of low pressure is responsible for producing all the cloudy weather across much of the upper Midwestern United States here at the moment. And as long as that system is in place, it will continue to remain very cloudy-like throughout the day. A couple of light scattered showers are also possible this morning and perhaps even into the early afternoon, with high temperatures into the upper 40s and low 50s today. So again, you can see some of those scattered showers moving in across the area as we head into this afternoon, and then things begin to clear out along with the clouds here as well as we head into early this evening around 8 o'clock. Followed by some more cloudy skies beginning to move in here as we head into tonight and also into early tomorrow morning. And then it's like that rinse and repeat cycle that we see in the clouds coming in and then clearing out. You can see by 10 o'clock tomorrow, we're still dealing with some clouds and then clearing again as we head into tomorrow evening. Now, we will see an increase in cloud cover again by the time we reach early on the day on Sunday, especially by late Sunday morning. I think things will be a little bit overcast out there. A couple of light showers that could bypass portions of the Chippewa Valley there by late morning, and then another round of some scattered showers that could develop across portions of the central zones as we head into early on Sunday evening. But for the most part, as you can see on the 8-day forecast, rain chances are looking pretty low over the next several days. We could see a couple of slight chances of rain today, once again Sunday, Monday, and also into Wednesday of next week. Otherwise, mainly cloudy skies will persist with highs into the 50s through Tuesday. I think we'll see some scattered showers perhaps on Wednesday, but our temperatures also cooling down into the 40s by midweek and continuing on through much of the work week as well. Could see some clearing though by Friday of next week. Low temperatures mainly into the 30s. Stay with us. We're back with much more news and weather still to come on News 8 Now this morning. For now, we're sending in a break with a look what happened on this day in history for November 3rd. We'll be right back.
It's a big night for a couple of our area volleyball squads. Last night, both Mabel Canton and Caledonia have made it to the semifinals of their respective sections. Cougars and Warriors now just 2 wins away from punching their ticket to the state tournament. Let's head to Rochester. Mabel Canton taking on Alden Conger in the Section 1A semis. After losing set 1, it's Kinley Soini letting it rip, getting the kill, trying to start off set number 2 with a bang. And she does just that. Stoini gets the hand up, smacks it down as the Cougars would tie it 1-1. To the third we go now. Mabel Canton trying to do more of the same. Check out Sejal Slafter, the junior, going to work, pounds it past the D. That puts her squad up 2. But here comes Stoini, yet again, rising up, getting another kill and another set win to put the Cougars up 2-1. Mabel Canton would drop the 4th, but in the 5th, guess who? There she is again, putting the hammer down. What a night. Cougars survive in 5. They advance to the section championship game on Saturday. They'll take on Fillmore Central at 10 a.m. in Rochester. As for Caledonia, the Warriors surviving a thriller last night. They stormed back to win the 4th set 27-25. Caledonia survives in 5. Warriors are moving on to the sectional championship on Saturday. They get past Zumbrota Mazeppa 3-2. Let's go to the pitch. Eagles at home last night looking to advance to the WIAC championship game. UWL up 3 on Stevens Point at the half. Second half, this would have been a beauty. Sydney Halstead just a bit wide, but later in the half, Chelsea Gale, clean lane, straight to the net. The junior takes full advantage of it. Eagles increase their lead to 4, and they weren't done. Later in the half, Eagles on the break. Jillian Sawatsky to Natalie Shizzle. Perfect execution from the home team. Eagles soar past the Pointers, 5-0 the final. They'll be back at it Saturday afternoon at home in the WIAC championship game against UW-Platteville. Let's go to the ice. Wild at home looking to snap their 3-game skid. Devils up 3 until midway through the second. Kirill Kaprizov on the power play. cuts it to 2. Then in the third, Wild still clawing back. Marco Rossi gets his squad closer. He puts it in on the rebound. Wild cut it back to just 1, but the Devils, they pull away. Later in the third, New Jersey goes back up 2 on this goal from Jesper Bratt. Wild dropped their 4th straight, 5-3 the final. Minnesota's now lost 6 of its last 7. That's going to do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
La Crosse is facing a deadly opioid crisis. The city has already seen a record-shattering 38 overdose deaths this year, the highest ever. If this alarming trend continues, the death toll could surge past 50 by the end of the year. Gunderson Health System documented a slight decrease in overdoses pre-pandemic, but COVID turned that tide. According to emergency physician Dr. Chris Eberlein, isolation and anxiety are fueling substance abuse.
The overall need for more treatment are things that are driving it. So some people call it a disease of despair, and so we are seeing all of that kind of play a role in affecting our community.
Gunderson is looking to prevent opioid-related overdoses through harm reduction methods by making Narcan readily available throughout the community. Officials are calling for expanding mental health services and addiction treatment. The Veterans Affairs Hospital in Tomah is extending an apology for those who may have been impacted by false diagnoses. The U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs Secretary is saying new exams are being offered to those who may have been affected. Dr. Mary Jo Lanska, a former neurologist for the VA, was fired earlier this year after allegations she had misdiagnosed at least 650 patients during exams. The hospital says they're currently notifying any veterans who were misdiagnosed, as well as family members of veterans who have since died. The VA encourages all veterans who are patients of Dr. Lanska to come in for new exams. Hintgen Elementary's days are numbered. In a decisive vote last night, the Facility Advisory Committee overwhelmingly recommended shuttering the school. The roughly 25-person committee was established in April. At the most recent meeting, 17 were present and 16 cast a vote. News 8 Now's Dua Israr attended last night's meeting and has the story.
Sir, this is not a public meeting for public comment.
Tensions were high at La Crosse's Facility Advisory Committee.
Should we make decisions for everybody?
At the center of the meeting, the recommendation to close one of the district's elementary schools on the south side.
For fiscal reasons, their educational reasons, their capacity reasons.
Since April, the Facility Advisory Committee has been meeting to discuss consolidating the district's elementary schools, a move the district says it has to make after last year's failed referendum.
The demographics are shrinking. We've seen a 22% decrease over the last 2 decades and are projected to see an additional 20% over the next 10 years.
Members voted to close Hintgen Elementary School.
11 out of the 16 would advise we recommend Hintgen Elementary for closure on the south side.
One person abstained.
I truly don't feel comfortable about voting on those 2 schools.
According to official documents, Hintgen Elementary only uses 55% of its building capacity.
We have, a lot of people in the audience tonight that feel very strongly about their schools.
While the recommendation is just that, a recommendation, community members are still voicing their support for their schools.
We're just going to take a 5-minute pause. Thank you.
In a previous meeting held 2 weeks ago, the committee also recommended Northwoods International Elementary School be closed. The school board does not have to take the committee's recommendation into consideration. There'll be 2 meetings later this month where the public will be able to comment on those recommendations. We will have those dates listed for you on our website, news8000.com. The La Crosse Arts Board wants $75,000 in ARPA money to fund more public artworks. The grants would support local artists hurt by the pandemic and respond to calls for more community art. According to the board, residents strongly back new murals, sculptures, and other public displays. The funds would also aid artists still recovering financially from COVID shutdowns. If approved, the money would directly commission local artists to install fresh pieces across La Crosse. The Arts Board says public art can help revitalize the city.
We've been hearing from a lot of folks in the community that they want to see more murals, more sculpture, more involvement with the community. Arts and culture brings people together, so that's a piece of it too.
We've been hearing from a lot. And the Finance and Personnel Committee approved the legislation. It'll now go to the City Council on Thursday, November 9th. We'll have more information on how you can support this legislation on news8000.com. La Crosse's Hunger Task Force is taking a new approach to make sure nobody goes hungry this holiday season. They've launched a virtual food drive this week, allowing people to shop and donate items online. The executive director of the Hunger Task Force says the end of the pandemic assistance and inflation have made getting essentials more challenging. Hunger Task Force of La Crosse tells News 8 Now they've seen a shortage in canned goods, and they're asking for your help.
We give approximately 30,000 pounds out a week to area programs, and behind me you see possibly 5,000 to 10,000 pounds. And so, you know, we are looking at a shortage here and getting a little nervous because it's our role to make sure that these programs are kept stocked.
The food bank supports 120 food programs, including the Boys and Girls Club. The virtual food drive will run until December 31st. We'll have a link on how you can donate on our website, news8000.com. Basketball season is just around the corner, and one local team is showing their love of the game with no plans of stopping anytime soon. News 8 Now's Michael Germain takes a look at this unconventional team of ballers.
They say age is just a number.
The youngest is 60.
And when it comes to the La Crosse Does, seeing is believing.
The oldest is 73.
The 14-member squad isn't like most teams you've probably seen.
You have to be 50 to play.
The team has been hooping it up in La Crosse since 2017. And if you do the math, it means this crew has been playing longer than most of us have been alive.
Did grow up playing sports, middle school and high school.
The Granny Basketball League was founded in 2005. The rules are a bit different.
We can only dribble twice. We can't run. You can walk. You could walk darn fast. You can't jump.
That doesn't mean you won't see action on the court.
There's some teams out here that are just out for blood and win, 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 but we're out for fun.
But don't let their sweet demeanor fool you.
This year we took 4th in nationals, and last year we took 2nd in nationals in Prairie du Chien. That was fantastic.
In fact, they've won enough games, the Does are starting to make a name for themselves.
People are starting to know who we are. And when you say La Crosse Does, they're like, yeah, yeah.
Lisa Morgan joined because of a friend.
At first she asked if I wanted to coach because they were looking for a coach.
But she figured out quickly that the sideline was not where she wanted to be.
It's hysterical because my professional basketball career ended at 5th grade, and I'm 5'2". But quite honestly, like within a week or two, I didn't suck. And like people were passing the ball to me, and I actually was able to put it in the basket.
For Carol Zielsdorf, it was about finding something new.
Well, I heard about the league. It was just starting in 2017, and I thought, I need to get out and do something. So I came out and just totally fell in love.
And like the rest of the La Crosse Does, she has no plans of stopping anytime soon.
It's a great form of exercise. It's like a really creative way to get a workout and meet people. We travel and play games at different places.
In La Crosse, Michael Germain, News 8 Now.
The La Crosse Does will take on the Boys and Girls Club 8th grade girls basketball team on Monday, November 6th. The game starts at 6 p.m. Now here's Derek to tell us what to expect for a morning commute. Hi, Derek.
Hey, Alexandra. Thanks for that. A very cloudy start here this morning. A couple of light showers that you may run to here this morning, moving in from the west. But for the most part, things are just looking mainly cloudy, though. Our temperatures are currently into the 30s and 40s. We got 36 degrees in Eau Claire. In La Crosse, you're currently sitting at 42, though. 37 in Sparta, a little cooler there. Much cooler in Black River Falls. We're currently at the freezing mark of 32 degrees. 52 degrees is our high temperature for this afternoon. Underneath those cloudy skies, a couple of light showers also possible. Winds will be light out of the west-northwest at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Heading into tonight, temperatures dropping just slightly below freezing at 31 degrees, partly cloudy skies, and overall a little cooler in most locations. And winds will be out of the north-northeast, very light at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. I'll check one more time on that full weather forecast coming up in a few minutes. And also coming up in our Buzz Report, a spooky new true crime documentary comes out this weekend. We'll have a sneak peek for the lost woman of Highway 20 in just a few minutes. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Skies are looking cloudy here this morning, but temperatures not as cool. The clouds here are contributing to that, along with the south wind here that we have in place. 42 degrees is our temperature currently in La Crosse. If you're in Eau Claire, you're looking a little cooler though. Temperatures are at 36 degrees. Winds are looking calm here though, so no need to worry about wind chill effects here this morning. Let's get a look at the satellite picture, and you can see plenty of cloud cover that continues to move in. On the radar, you can see a couple of light showers back towards the west, but those are very, very light, probably just some drizzles if anything. This is all thanks to this trough of low pressure, this very elongated trough of low pressure that is currently positioned just to our west. And as you can see, all of the upper Midwest and northern United States dealing with this system, contributing to cloud cover and moisture for us to work with. Speaking of moisture, that's in the forecast because that could help spawn maybe a little bit of some passing scattered showers here late morning and into the early afternoon, potentially around late afternoon too, around 4 o'clock as well, with highs into the upper 40s and our low 50s here too. 43 and partly cloudy as we head into early on this evening. All right, so our sky tracker showing mainly cloudy skies. Look at the showers there, as you can see, possibly developing across portions of our central zones by around noon or so, and then clearing out of here by this evening. And most of the cloud cover by that point will also come to a close before more clouds begin to move in as we head into overnight and also into early tomorrow morning, because as you can see, by 10 o'clock tomorrow, we're still looking at some cloudy skies developing and pushing their way towards the east before dissipating as we head into tomorrow evening. Now by Sunday, I'm expecting some cloudy skies once again to start moving in as early as overnight, and then coming in completely overcast as we head into Sunday afternoon there. Maybe a little bit of some scattered showers possibly setting up across portions of the Chippewa Valley, and then the rest of us possibly looking at some rain near the La Crosse area as we head into Sunday evening. But for the most part, the rain chances this weekend though are looking very low. We got only around 20% odds there of seeing some of the rain chances, with highs into the 50s through Tuesday. Could see some slightly better chances of rain here as we head into Monday of next week, and then potentially again into midweek around Wednesday. And at the same time, by midweek, I'm expecting our highs to drop from the 50s down back to the 40s. And as you can see, we'll be into the mid 40s for Thursday, and also into Friday of next week. I think we will see some clearing skies though by the end of the work week on Friday of next week as well. Our low temperatures mainly into the 30s.
In our morning Buzz report, Britney Spears has put out a new hit, but this time it's not the kind you can dance to. Britney's memoir, The Woman in Me, has already sold 1 million copies in its first week. It's been named a bestseller by the New York Times, USA Today, and the indie booksellers. The Michelle Williams narrated audiobook has become the fastest-selling audio product in Audible history. Spears says she's thankful for the support of her fans and readers.
You find Ryder, save Jodie's film. You get the love of your life back.
I'm not the hero, I'm just the double. Not today, you're not.
That was a first look at The Fall Guy, starring Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. The action comedy is an adaptation of the 1980s TV show of the same name. It follows an over-the-hill stuntman who investigates the disappearance of his film's star actor. The Fall Guy will be in theaters on March 1st of next year.
Melissa's parents, they knew something was wrong. So did Sheila's parents.
Her parents called repeatedly.
Yeah.
But they felt ignored, like the police wasn't taking anything seriously.
A film being released this weekend is Lost Women of Highway 20. The eerie true crime documentary explores the investigation into the disappearance that is, of numerous women along Highway 20 in Central Oregon. The documentary is executive produced by Oscar winner Octavia Spencer. It comes out on Discovery ID this Sunday.
I know nadie le importa un carajo lo que pasa aquí. ¿Usted pidió venir aquí? ¿Para qué? Pues, solo quería probar algo distinto.
A Spanish language film that won festival favorite at Sundance will also be out this weekend. Radical is the story of an innovative teacher who tries to help his students and community amid poverty and violence. The movie has garnered significant praise from critics and festival audiences. It'll be out in select theaters today. Some good movies to get into this weekend.
Definitely.
Or even as it cools down. This weekend we may want to spend some time outside, right?
Yeah, I would try to spend as much as you can. I mean, even though it's going to be cloudy, but take advantage of the 50s with our highs. Well,
yeah, for
exactly.
sure. And before we head to break, it's time to take a look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, we're going to start with Bo, who is turning 8 weeks old today. Now, he loves to snuggle with his mom and big sister, and he loves to take naps. Love the picture, and I love the shirt, too.
Yeah,
Halloween.
and his little matching pants.
Yeah.
So cute. And Davis is turning 8 months old today. He loves to eat and play.
And twins Henry and Brody are turning 8 years old today. Now, both love reading, playing board games, and are big sports fans.
Happy birthday to them. Justin is turning 18 today. He loves playing sports and learning in school.
Marge is turning 80 today. She loves shopping, fishing, and her family, and including her great-grandkids.
Well, happy birthday to all of them.
Yeah.
And if you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
That's right. Just upload their photo to our website. It's news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button underneath the Home tab on our website.
Stay with us. We have everything you need to know today in 5 minutes or less. Your morning news now is up next. The Veterans Affairs Hospital in Tomah is extending an apology this morning for those who have been impacted by false diagnoses. The U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs Secretary is saying new exams are being offered to those who have been effective. Dr. Mary Jo Lanska, a former neurologist for the VA, was fired earlier this year after allegations she had misdiagnosed at least 650 patients during exams. The hospital says they are currently notifying any veterans who were misdiagnosed, as well as family members of veterans who have since died. The VA encourages all veterans who are patients of Dr. Lanska to come in for new exams. You may have to leave a little earlier this morning if you use Losee Boulevard to get to work. That's because the southbound right-hand lane will be closed until next Tuesday, November 7th. The city says the road will be closed for water utility maintenance. La Crosse's Hunger Task Force is taking a new digital approach to make sure nobody goes hungry this holiday season. They've launched a virtual food drive this week, allowing people to shop and donate items online. The executive director of the Hunger Task Force says the end of pandemic assistance and inflation has made getting essentials more challenging. Hunger Task Force of La Crosse tells News 8 Now they've seen a shortage in canned goods and they're asking for your help.
We give approximately 30,000 pounds out a week to area programs, and behind me you see possibly 5,000 to 10,000 pounds. And so, you know, we are looking at a shortage here and getting a little nervous because it's our role to make sure that these programs are kept stocked.
The food bank supports 120 food programs in the area, including the Boys and Girls Club. The virtual food drive will run until December 31st. We'll have a link on how you can donate on our website, news8000.com. Happening this weekend, music lovers, we have the perfect way for you to spend your weekend. The Midwest Music Fest is back in La Crosse starting today, and some UWL art students created a special art piece to celebrate. Billy the Bigfoot has become a symbol of the Music Fest. He's only ever been seen on paper, but now student sculptors have brought him to life right outside the Pump House Regional Arts Center. All are welcome to visit Billy, but you'll want to go soon before the elusive Bigfoot disappears.
Billy is making an appearance as Bigfoots do, so it's a sort of a limited time that you can see Billy.
Midwest Music Fest brings musicians from across the region into the downtown La Crosse area. The fest starts today at 3 p.m. and will run until 11 tonight. The music will start back up tomorrow morning at 10 and play through 11 p.m. The music venues include the UWL Weber Center for the Performing Arts, the Root Note, the Main, the Pump House Regional Arts Center, the Charmant, and the Grounded Patio Cafe. Tickets can be bought online. We'll have that link and more information for you on our digital platforms. It'll be a good weekend to be out at that event, Derek.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we do have temperatures that will be warming up, and that's going to start actually, as a matter of fact, today. Highs into the 50s here as we head into this afternoon. Mainly cloudy conditions, though, with a slight chance of a shower or two also possible. Heading into your 8-day forecast, highs remain into the 50s here through the weekend and also into early next week. Mainly cloudy skies, though, so don't really expect a whole lot of sunshine. A couple of slight chances of rain Sunday, Monday, and also we'll get into early next week on Wednesday. At the same time, I think by midweek, our temperatures start to fall again. So get ready for that.
Yeah, so get rid of the heavy coats, but don't put them too far away, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, well, looking good for the weekend, though. A lot of people will be happy to see that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, take advantage of the 50s while they can. You know, we're next month. December, it's going to get a lot colder, you know, highs in the 30s usually, so, and it gets downhill from there.
Yeah, so, get outside while we can, for sure.
Definitely.
All right, Derek, thank you. And thank you for watching News 8 Now this morning. We will see you back here at noon, 5, 6, and 10 tonight. Have a great day.